Good morning, everyone. Welcome into episode number 3 of Playing with House Money present the Frat House. And I'm Iceman. You know that. This guy right here is our frat president, DJ Prue at Prue Baby 10. How are you doing today, my guy?
I'm doing good, man. It's always a party at the frat house.
Always.
Time to turn
Friday
up.
mornings. Turn
Yes,
up.
sir. Yes, sir. We've made it. We have made it to the weekend. Well, almost. We basically made it to the weekend. As
Basically. Yeah.
you know, as the fraternity president, we don't do class on Friday. We don't do anything on Friday
Oh,
besides gamble sports. So
yes,
and
sir.
it's a fun one. We got two tonight, actually. So we got plenty to jump into over at the frat house. I hope nobody's gonna miss out on it. I promise we don't do any like hazing pledges either, because I don't believe in
No.
that. So
I
yeah,
mean, we do. It's just you have to win a parlay.
no,
But,
you just have to talk to me.
oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's hazing enough, because like, you know,
This
you
is
never
true.
know. You never know when you're gonna catch a stray from me, or I'm gonna
Yeah,
have.
you don't. You don't. Didn't expect that while I was away in Nashville, being a cowboy for the week.
Yeah, and
And I come
hey,
back and I'm like, oh,
you think you were gonna go out and have a great time in Nashville and not have? I was upset. I was hating. Come on now, you know how that go. So you had to catch one, and now that you're back, it's only perfect that we start this off the right way with the weekend and go into the NFL Sunday, the way that you finished it. So you
yeah,
finished last week. So yeah, man, right out of the gate, I got to talk about some ops, only
yeah,
because, hey, they producing. I can't hate on it. I mean, I can, but when it comes to me
yeah,
putting my money on it, I can't.
yeah, yeah.
And we got Miami, Virginia Tech tonight. Miami's ranked number 7 in the country. Cam Ward is playing out. Just he's balling out. I've seen him like tell defenses where they're going, and they still run. Like, so it's just he's disrespectfully balling. Um, and I actually ran this last week, while I was in Indy with my pops. We had one too many and started putting a parlay together. And I didn't realize like Cam Ward's odds for some of these things. So um, tonight, 6:30 p.m. Central Time, Cam Ward for 300 plus passing yards is minus 145. Um, and yeah, it's a little steep. It's a little steep, but Virginia Tech is terrible. Um, and also Cam's been balling. It's really not unheard of that he goes for 325, 350, to be honest with you. So minus 145 for 300 plus. And then if you don't like that, which this is the prop that I ran last week, and actually I didn't even really have to sweat it. He did get the last one a little late, but it was pretty easy for the most part. 3+ passing touchdowns. They've just been passing. Like, I don't really know. I don't watch Miami games, to be honest with you. I watch one or two Miami games a year, and that's the Florida State game and one that I catch randomly. So it'll probably be this one. But that's minus 125, and he's been killing that. He's been killing that line. So um, I really do. I am leaning towards the 300 plus, because you know how I am about touchdowns,
Mm-hmm.
especially with it being specifically passing touchdowns.
Yeah.
But like, to see their red zone offense and then also their big playability, I really do like that minus 125. But I'm going to run that 300 plus as a straight. Um, and that's probably my favorite one out of the two. And then we actually have another one. It's an unranked matchup, but I do like the value in it. We got Washington versus Rutgers. Um, Rutgers' first 3 games of the season, 44, 49, 26. Washington's first 4, 35, 30, 19, 24. Um, I expect Rutgers to win this game, to be honest with you. That 20 last week they played Virginia Tech and put up 26. Um, Washington's giving up a lot of points. When they get going, they're scoring, but I really only want anything between 18 and 24 out of them. The points line is 44 and a half at minus 110. And I really do like that, because I think Rutgers could easily run away with this at anywhere between 30 and 35 points easy. Um, so that's going to be the only one that I really look at for this game, because it's such a toss up. You don't really like messing with one, unranked matchups, and two, they're two teams that just can't seem to like ever find their groove every year. I can't really say that about Rutgers this year because they've been playing so well, but at the same time, they haven't played really anybody. Nobody has for the most part. So I really like that over 44.5 at -110. So I ended up going the 3+ passing touchdowns at -125, the over 44.5 at -110, and got, I think it was +180. So you're going to be anywhere between +180 and +220, I believe. So I love that 2-leg. And like I said, the Cam Ward 300+ straight at -145 I'm going to be all over that. So I like those two for tonight. I actually I had another Miami prop that I meant to mention because it was a little bit better odds. Miami over 36.5 points. That one. I mess around and do something that could be regretful with that one because they are just hanging. They are hanging points, bro, and fast and in large sums. So that's at -125 as well. That and the over 44.5 was +243. So tonight, nice little double up. Get ready for a big Saturday.
Yeah.
So Saturday with that +243, that's what we're going to tailgate with. Right out of the gates at 11 a.m. Central. You got Oklahoma State and Kansas State. I mentioned Oklahoma State last week with Nino. Came up short with Stribling at receiver. He needed, I think it was 60 yards, 63 yards, something like that. He ended up with 50 because they just could not get anything going. But this Kansas State defense is going to open up a little bit more for them. The one thing about this game, though, so Oklahoma State's ranked 20, Kansas State's 23. The one thing I will say about this game that's hard to tell is like which team is going to be the one to catch on, because it seems like these are two teams that they're hot and cold very easily, but Oklahoma State's had a gauntlet to start the year. They got one of the hardest schedules I've seen anybody have to start the year. So I really do like them at over 21.5 points total is -180. You could really juice that up. Don't get me wrong. It's a very modest points line from -180, but I think that's where I really like the threshold. Let's see if they can get 24, 24 plus. And then Kansas State is the favorite to win this game. Over 27.5 is -175. I'm really leaning towards the Oklahoma State line at 21.5 though, just because their quarterback has been throwing it all over the field. They're fast paced. They have a little bit more experience right now in tough games, tough matchups. So I think they're a little bit more battle tested. And 21.5 points in a college game, let's be honest, that's a give me in a lot of weeks. So So I love that. And then we got a really good matchup at 2:30 in the afternoon at Central. It's ranked number 15 Louisville against number 16 Notre Dame, which, to be honest with you, any team that loses to Northern Illinois at home to still be ranked in the top 25, your guess is as good as mine, even though I know on paper they are one of the best teams in the country. But that's on paper, and that don't mean jack shit when it comes to Saturdays. So Louisville over 17.5 is -125. Northern Illinois put up 16 on Notre Dame. Granted, and to be honest with you, this might work in our benefit. It's in South Bend, which so was the Northern game. They paid $1.4 million to lose to Northern Illinois in front of their fans. I think Louisville can hang. I think Louisville can hang with that team even if they don't win. 17.5 at -125 is lovely. And then if you are leaning towards the Notre Dame side, Jeremiah Love for 60+ rushing yards is -190. You could go a little higher, especially with it being Louisville, a team that doesn't have a huge front four on defense. Really, their presence in their front seven for defense is never extremely great. So I really do like that. If you do want to beef it up a little bit, you can. But me personally, I'm going to stick with that -190. Get me some, juice it up a little bit. And then a straight that I'm running out of that game is Tyler Show, quarterback for Louisville. 223+ passing yards at -115 seems just like extremely low. He hasn't had a single game under 230. I know Notre Dame's defense, obviously, they're good, but every dog has his day. Like I said, the Northern game obviously is kind of,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a shade, a little bit of a blindfold on me because of that. But at the same time, Louisville's not a pushover either, and their tempo gets to people often.
Yeah.
So with Tyler Show, the way he's throwing the ball, and how much the quantity, the volume that he's throwing the ball at 223 at -115, I really like that. You get one or two big plays. I mean, you're walking through that. So, I really love that. And then obviously the one game everybody's just has circled on their calendar for college football fans is 6 p.m. You got number 2 Georgia against number 4 Alabama. I don't know how, as a college football fan, I don't know how you're not excited for this game. I'm actually shocked that it's this early in the season.
Yeah.
Which the committee did a great job about, getting a lot of good ranked games early in the season. You don't usually see that, but I'm not the biggest Bama believer. Jalen Milroe is very good. He's a very good athlete. I say that purposely. And like I said, like everybody knows, if you know me, I am a Lamar Jackson fan. But athletic quarterbacks in college against very good stout defenses is not typically the way I'm going to lean. And I think Georgia is just, they have so much depth, and they're going to be able to swarm around. So I really do like, I like Georgia over 23.5 points at -150. I think they're going to have plenty of drives. I think that the one reason that I am leaning towards that is the volume of offensive drives I think they get. Milroe is one of those guys where it's not really methodical. It's not methodical drives. It's really just like big plays, and then they score. I think Georgia's going to get plenty of opportunity on offense. And 23.5 just seems really low, especially for a game like this where the kids are going to be hyped. I mean, this is going to be they're going to be fired up for this game. So you're going to see a lot of early jitters, early big plays, big shots. They're going to take a lot of chances. Both of these teams are going to take a lot of chances downfield. And for that reason alone, I have Ryan Williams, obviously phenom receiver. Kid's going to be incredible. He's going to have an incredible career. 40 plus rushing yards, -165. I don't like to call things a give me. That's a give me. If he doesn't get 40 plus yards, it's a bad day. It's a bad day for that offense. Like it might mess around and be a blowout if Ryan Williams is not a very big key factor for them on Saturday. So I like that. I'm going to run that one as a straight. I'm going to run Ryan Williams 40 plus as a straight. I know -165 isn't, it's not fancy. It's not sexy, but for what we're doing here, I love that as a straight. Tyler, and then I'm going to run the Tyler Show 223 as the straight, and Louisville over 17.5 as a straight, which is -115 and -125. Those are a little better, especially for straight bets. And then for a 4-leg parlay, I got Oklahoma State over 21.5 -180. Jeremiah Love 60 plus -190. The Louisville and Notre Dame over 45 is -108. I know I didn't mention that, but with the two teams points and whatnot, what I went through, I'm throwing that in the parlay. And then the Georgia over 23.5 at -150 is plus 600 for the 4-leg. I absolutely love that for something that I considered pretty safe and modest on my end from what it could have been, because it really could have been stretched out much further. So So I love that 4-leg, but the straight bets are probably going to be the one thing that I'm going super pretty heavy on for the value. Getting a couple of those at less than -200 is kind of crazy. So that's really what I'm looking at. But yeah, we got a nice slate, man.
Yeah. Definitely looking forward to that Georgia game against Alabama.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Saturday night. Should be. I watched obviously the Alabama game at the weekend because they played Wisconsin, obviously, and that was in the parlay. So yeah, I mean,
that was 2 weeks ago, though, wasn't it?
Oh, was that?
I want to say that was 2 weeks ago because you were on the show with us when I brought up your boys.
Yeah, that was 2 weeks ago. So that was the Then I don't know,
and then Milroe had a good showing last week.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's like I said, we're betting on kids here.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. It's what it always comes back to, right?
But Georgia, I'll say Georgia has an advantage, especially because of coaching.
Yeah.
With a new system, a new coach out at Alabama, it's not like they've looked bad. They just haven't looked polished. They haven't looked as pristine as you would see, with a usual Saban team and a usual recruiting class that you would see out of Alabama for the most part for the last 20 years. And Georgia, I mean, Georgia's been number one until Texas came and, shocked the world with just how dominant they've been. So I really do like that roster, and I like their matchups a lot better. I think Georgia has one-on-one win, like they're winning one-on-one matchups on paper a lot more often than Alabama, and Alabama's really going to live and die by Milroe's game. So, which, I mean, hey, sometimes you love, sometimes you hate, but I think that Georgia defense starts flying around and gives that offense plenty of opportunity. So
sounds good. And well, we'll see. We'll see tonight, obviously, with the games we've got this evening, and then tomorrow we'll know where we're at and heading into a big NFL Sunday. So hopefully we can put some of these together. And I appreciate the couple of the bets that you've put out there that are not player props, that those of us in awful states can also tail.
Yeah. A lot of the college stuff will be purposely. But yeah, man, I'm excited. Hopefully by the start of the Georgia Bama game, the tailgate and the early party took me out. I'm just yelling at the TV. So
for Georgia to score their 24 points.
Oh no, I'm not worried about that. That's gonna happen. They win or lose, they're scoring 24.
Okay. Good to know. All right. And then join us on Twitter at PW_housemoney. Like and subscribe to the YouTube. Join the Discord because you don't want to miss out on the SGC this weekend. Mentioned it in the beginning. We've been mentioning it all week. SGC looking to end breaking down this weekend's soccer slates. Looking to end the month of September with a bang.
Bruh.
We had
ice. Hey, ice in the cut is a scary sight, bro. We going into spooky season. It's a scary sight for the house right now, bro. Y'all don't want to miss the SGC. Y'all really don't want to miss a single play he puts out. I'm gonna keep it real with you. It don't matter. It don't matter what it is right now. Get in, put the notifications on, especially even if it's just his channel. Whatever the hell you need to do to get my man's plays right now, you need to do it. So, and I would even I'm not even gonna give y'all the rundown. Just know it's Lotto Central too. It ain't even just the straight bets and the small stuff. Hey, come get this money. Don't miss nothing, especially not the SGC. So
that's it. Yep. And I appreciate it's always fun at the Frat House.
Always.
Looking forward to next week already.
Yes, sir. Yeah, we're gonna go into Sunday playing with some house money. So hey, don't miss the party, man. Everybody can't get in. You got to get the link. So you ain't got to pledge, just get the link. Join. We ain't giving out too much free shit. So we're college students, bro. We eating ramen and fucking boiled hot dogs, dog. Ain't gonna be much free shit, but you could definitely come get this money with us. So come join the party. Let's get it.
Come join the party, see what we got, and we'll catch you all next week back at the Frat House.
Yes, sir.